Hello, good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today, some good news if you are unhappy with the way the Godzilla vs. Kong event went over and you spent money getting the commanders. So you can refund these commanders or bundles in which you got the commanders in until May 23rd now. However, they are going to be changing them a little bit. I'm going to read from the forum post. I'll put it up on screen and I'll drop a link to it in the description down below if you wish to check it out for yourself. So, says, Commanders, a great battle between Godzilla and Kong has just begun in Wood Warships, and we want to address the most frequent questions about the addition of the two titans to the game. Why do Godzilla and Kong's unique voiceovers sound simultaneously with the standard voice commands? We strive for voiceovers to not only be interesting and of high quality, but also informative. To this end, we created a new type of sound playback which combines the clarity of standard notifications and the unique roars of these specific characters. We understand that this might not have been clear from the descriptions in the articles and shop bundles, so we will be updating these texts in a week or less. The unique Titan voiceovers are rather quiet. Will this be fixed? Yes, in one of the nearest game updates, we'll be amplifying the unique sound effects for both Godzilla and Kong so that they stand out more. And what if I'm not happy with this new type of dual voiceover? You may request a refund for purchased bundles which resulted in obtaining a commander even if you've played more than one battle with them until 23rd of May 2021 midnight UTC. So that right there, I don't think many people went into this crossover event not expecting the voiceovers just to be Godzilla or Kong roaring. I made several jokes about that when I first read this article. Well, not this article, but the articles announcing the crossover event, because I fully expected the voiceover just to be Kong shouting, Godzilla shouting every 4 or 5 seconds, and I would have been perfectly fine with that because that's what I was expecting going in. But on the other hand, I can understand too how they would still want the voiceovers to be communicating what's going on in the game, as that is their purpose. I mean, if you do have Godzilla roaring randomly, you'll get an idea that something's going on and you maybe need to pay attention to something. And it's not like people don't play this game with music blaring or the game muted or something like that. It's perfectly doable. I've played many around where I'm either on the phone or watching a YouTube video simultaneously, but still from a gameplay and design perspective, you still want those voice lines to be communicating that information. But again, for a crossover event with frickin' Godzilla or Kong as commanders, I would think players would understand that you're just going to get a bunch of random roaring. But, I mean, still, is it the best of both worlds? Maybe, but I just wish they would have clarified that a bit sooner. I know they showed off the ships and stuff, and they did show off the ships in battle and the ads for the event and such, but I don't think they ever actually played the ships in battle with the voiceovers active, from my memory at least not on the media that I saw about it. So I mean, that's pretty fair to the players saying we didn't know it was like this, we expected roars and we got language. But anyway, that's that bit. Next bit. Why do Godzilla and Kong not appear on my ship deck in battle? Now, this one was actually made quite clear before the event went out. I mean, like I said in the video covering the event itself, it's still a bummer that they couldn't get them on the ships in battle. You know, that's kind of the whole point of buying these skins, at least. But they did say straight up that they weren't going to be on the ships in battle. But anyway, this decision has two main reasons. The two Titans are truly legendary creatures, and they're owned by Legendary. Having them sink to the bottom of the sea because of an unlucky battle would hardly be a dignified fate for them. Two, models of their size would have a significant impact on estimating which ship parts are being hit by their opponent's shells, even in comparison to other camouflages with non-standard geometry. The massive Titans would have been a much bigger effect on aiming at the ship. Thank you for your attention. We apologize for any confusion. We will do our best to avoid such situations in the future. The Wood Warships team. Okay, the first one is, I think, the most legitimate explanation of why they aren't on the ships in battle. Two Titans are truly legendary creatures. Having them sink to the bottom of the sea because of an unlucky battle would hardly be a dignified fate for them. This, in my mind at least, is kind of nodding toward what I and some other people thought, that whoever owns the license to the respective characters, so Toho, Godzilla, Kong, I think Warner Brothers still owns him. they didn't want their characters to be betrayed in a way to where they like got sunk or got injured or whatever happened to them. They didn't want that to happen with their characters. So, in part of the deal they must have made with Wargaming, they ruled out that happening. And this isn't really strange for video games. If you guys didn't know, this has happened several times concerning either characters crossing over, or even in some games, some real life locations don't allow certain things to happen in that game to them. For example, infamous, I think, Second Son takes place in Seattle, Washington, like actual Seattle, Washington. The first two games, and the better two games in my opinion, took place in like fake cities based upon New York and based upon New Orleans. But Second Son took place in Seattle. In part of Seattle, you have the Seattle Space Needle. And they had that in-game. And it was cool that they had the real thing in-game, but you were only allowed to go up it once in-game. Once, that's it. And the whole point of the Infamous series is that, you can climb up the buildings and stuff and use elevation to great effect in the game. And there's many, moves and attacks based upon, being up in the air. And the Seattle Space Needle is pretty tall, but they didn't want people climbing up it and throwing themselves off of it in the video game. But they allowed it one time in the game for a very scripted boss fight, and that's it. So it's not beyond the possibility that Toho and Warner Brothers didn't want their characters to be shown as being able to be killed by naval artillery or torpedoes or planes, even though Kong did get killed by a plane in the game. So I think that's the most likely explanation as to why they aren't in battle. Now, I have no doubt that they would have probably put them in battle if this wasn't the case. Because the second reason doesn't make much sense. Saying that their models would have a significant impact on estimating what part of the ship to shoot at? Not seeing it. I mean, look at some of the crazy models that we've had in game already. Like some of the ones I just showed you, the freaking Scorpion Yamato, the Halloween event was the Hakuru, I think. The freaking beer can Roma, helicopter Yamato. I mean, like, these are big geometric changes to the ship. I mean, if they would explain, you don't get any damage for shooting Godzilla's thigh, or you don't get any damage for shooting Kong in the face, I think most players would understand that, and that's not really an excuse. I think they're just kind of throwing that in there to... I mean, it probably was something they discussed, saying, if we did get these guys in battle, are we going to model them as part of the superstructure, or are those shells just going to pass right through them, so forth and so on. But like Roma's beer can is non-collision. Like, you don't get any damage points for hitting it. I've shot it multiple times out of curiosity, and the shells just go right through it. And I understand as a human with a functioning brain. Okay, well, can't shoot it there. Not like you need to shoot Roma there anyway. Shooting a superstructure or the hull. That's something too. Like, why are you going to be aiming at frickin' Godzilla and not the hull of the Amagi, or why are you aiming at Kong and not any part of the North Carolina, considering how frail that ship is in a lot of cases? So yeah, that doesn't really fly with me. But at the end of the day, you can get a refund if you did spend money on this event and you're not satisfied with the outcome of it. Now, they are changing the voice lines, like they said, to where the roars will be a bit more apparent. I would really like it if they would add in a setting to where, like, you would go with the hybrid, where it has the standard language speaking and the roars in the background. Or you can just go full, I want to be deaf, and I want to hear Godzilla roar 20 times in battle in my eardrums, and I am okay with that. I wish they would make it to where you could choose between one of those two options. And if they did that, then I would say, perfect solution to this problem. But we'll see how they handle it in the future. But overall, still, if they do fix the roaring to where it's louder, I still don't think the event's really worth it. And like I said in the other video too, the best thing to do if you do want to try and get one of these commanders is just throw 20 bucks at the containers. The containers will actually give you your monies back in signal flags and other resources too, so they're a safe bet. And you may get lucky and get Kong or Godzilla in one, or heck, you may manage to get both of them in that series of containers that you get. Other than that, I wouldn't spend any money on this event. I definitely would not buy the bundles outright because they simply are not worth it. So guys, if you do want to get your money back and you spent money on this event, you can do it just as long as you get it done before May 23rd, which is, shoot, that's about 10 days away. So hopefully you guys see this video in that time and can get things settled and get your money back if you so wish to do so. Anyway guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 25,000 subs. We just passed 24,800 today. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. And I am planning on doing a very big giveaway when we get to 25,000 subs. So make sure you keep checking around for that. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.